Hello, today we will be talking about how to play a battleship in World of Warships Legends. It is fun, but you got to learn how to play your ships. If you don't, you're just never going to progress in this game. Never. Ever. In reality. So, we have 5 tips today. Tip number 1, when it shows up, I'm watching it as I'm doing this. Come on. Tip number 1. Don't give the enemy your side. You would never ever want to do this as a battleship. Especially as the ship as I'm playing today, which is the Yamato. Very good ship, has the biggest guns in the game. I can overmatch everyone's bow. And I demonstrate never give your side to the enemy, in this game especially. Like that Kurthos there, he's about to get absolutely punished for giving me his side. That was a good shot. Because giving the enemy your side exposes the weakest part of your armor to the enemy, thus giving them the best chance to do the maximum amount of damage with their shells. As I am doing with this Yamato shooting at another Yamato on the enemy team. Take the shot. He disappears. Boom, Citadel, engine knocked out. That's why you don't give the enemy a side. Number 2. Learn your ship, don't just play it once. People make this mistake way too often in this game. They always play one ship once, and then they never play it again, because it's not overpowered. And this is the deal with this game. You got to learn how to play your ships. If you don't, you won't progress. Exactly like the same as don't give your enemy the side. If you'd never learn how to play your ships, what are you going to do? You'll just sit there at 1 tier, never being able to progress, because you never play those ships again. I've done this. I'm a victim of this myself. I play the American ships quite a bit, but I stopped at the New Orleans in the heavy cruiser section, because I just didn't like it. So I just stopped playing it for a while. But that was just me. I'm a battleship player, so I like big guns and massive amounts of damage. No, I'm not like that cruiser player that sits behind a mountain and just fires over it. I mean, I'm shooting over a mountain right now, but this is because that's a good shot. But that's just how it is. Play your ship more than once, you'll learn how to play it. Like Yamato here, you don't want to angle too much against the enemy, otherwise there is a cheap bit of armor that any gun can penetrate, especially Yamatos. They can also overmatch your bow. You're not invulnerable. You never are in this game. It's just impossible to be invulnerable. Number 3. Don't underestimate your guns. This is what I was saying about Yamato's guns. Yamato's guns are the biggest guns in the game, 18-inch. They can overmatch everyone's bow in the game, no matter what ship you're in, even itself. It's the only ship that's capable of doing this. Even if you do have low caliber guns, like there's a ship at tier 7, the Odin, has 12-inch guns and is classified as a battleship. But yet it can still do massive amounts of damage, even though it has 12-inch guns. Just don't underestimate them. You think you can't penetrate that part? Then aim for the superstructure. If you can't penetrate that armor, just do something else. Like aim for a different part. Load HE, try that for something different. But when you're in the ship with the biggest guns in the game, you want to use AP more often than not. Because if you don't, what's the point of you? You have 18-inch guns, you can overmatch everyone's bow, but you're shooting HE that can only start fires. You can barely citadel anyone. The British are for that. The British citadel people with HE. Best HE penetration in the game. But with Yamato, you want to be firing AP, same as a lot of other battleships. You just don't want to be firing HE as often, unless you have low caliber guns. Like Odin, or any other ship that has low caliber guns, like Scharnhorst, for example. But Yamato, always fire AP. Look at that side. That Kurthus is just gonna get punished for giving me his side. I believe in this game, I do incredibly large amounts of damage in a single salvo, because one person made one mistake of giving me their broadside, and you should never do that. Kurthus is just getting absolutely wrecked. Should have stopped ages ago. Number 4. Angle your armor. Your ship is incredibly strong from bow on. Not many ships can overmatch you, unless you have weak bow armor. This is the problem with players. I see them either going bow in, which makes them vulnerable to Yamatos or things that can overmatch them. If you angle just enough, you can bounce even Yamato shells, because your belt armor will do that work. Unless it's an experienced player, and then the experienced player knows to aim for the upper section of your armor. But with Kurthus and any other ship like Vanguard, Iowa, etc., you want to be angling. Angling your armor, exposing a little bit of your belt is just enough to bounce almost every single shell in this game. Unless you're in a cruiser. Then you're just dead. There's no point. If you're in a cruiser and you're angling, you're just dead. Especially if you're getting shot at by a battleship. But look at this, Yamato. Look at that shot. Boom, gone. Don't forget to subscribe and like. This video took some time. This is my first audio recording. I'm having a very hard time, coping with this, and I'm very scared of recording my voice for this, but I have to do it. This is a media project. But the rest of this game, just sail around, so that's basically it for that gameplay part. I believe I get a shot at Massachusetts at some point. But back to the topic. Angling your armor, very important for this game. You don't angle your armor, more often than not, you'll find yourself getting citadeled from ridiculous angles that you thought you couldn't even be citadeled from. I have done this to many ships. King George V. Yeah, King George V is a battleship. I overmatched one of them and killed him with citadels from a weird angle. Number 5. Fear all destroyers, except Russian ones. I say this because destroyers as a battleship player are very, very annoying to deal with. You have slow turning turrets. You can't go anywhere really quickly unless you're in a fast battleship. And you're normally firing AP, which means you don't have the time to switch to HE. And the most ones that you fear are Japanese destroyers. You want to fear them the most. They have the longest range torpedoes, the fastest moving torpedoes, and the hardest hitting torpedoes. And you know why I say don't fear the Russian destroyers? They only have 4-kilometer torpedo range. You just sail away from them and you're out of their range almost instantly. It's one of their weaknesses. But they are good gunboats, like the American gunboat destroyers. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for this video. I did quite a lot of damage in this game. I did over 100 157,000 damage. Got first in my team. I lost money somehow, but that's the end. Thank you for watching.